doing this together. What we can do to make this dance really about the partnership and not about like the lead, just forcing it, like dictate patterns and the follower going along with it. And so we talked specifically about how we communicate with our partner. And there's two ways that we communicate.
We can communicate physically, so when we're actually touching, we can communicate something here.
And we can do, and the test for this is stuff you can do with your eyes closed. How you communicate things there. Versus?
And we can also communicate visually, so we can look at each other and try to communicate.
We don't need to touch, and we can start doing things, and then, we play off of each other, certain things like that, yeah? So we spent the first half of the class sort of exploring what things we can communicate visually, and we came up with a list of adjectives. So it's a very long list, but things like height, and high versus low, slow versus like fast, smooth versus like jankety.
And we can add contra body. So these are all things that we can communicate physically, and some of them the leads can communicate, and some of them the followers can also communicate.
And so we talked about this very in some sense abstract idea we want you to take home and ponder. Right, that we're both participating in this partnership, and either one of us can sort of just toss an idea into that partnership, and it just gets mixed up, and we don't even know at some point who contributed what idea. It just sort of distributes through the partnership. And we gave you this example of contra body. It's one that we find as like the prototypical example of this. So right now, I'm just leading close embrace walks.
And I add on the contra body.
And the big idea here is leads, I'm not dictating every possible thing about my partner's movement. I'm dictating the direction that we're going and maybe a little bit of the energy, but there's a lot that hasn't been dictated, and it's in all of those spaces Sara can just contribute something, and it doesn't harm the flow of the dance at all. It adds to it. Anyway, yes, so think on that. And then we talked about...
Well, we can communicate visually. So we can do this in all sorts of different connections. When we're in one-handed open or complete open, then it's like completely a visual communication. But we can add some of these to other positions.
And we just want to again remind people that once we touch each other here, we don't want to lose the autonomy, the fun, the playfulness here.
So as follows, if there's not a super strong connection, I can still say oh, I want to change my weight in a different way. I'm not stopping following. So it's okay to make these changes. And there are all sorts of things we can do in one-handed open. And then when we're in side by side, I think this would be the next easiest to add some visual cues. Anyway, so this is stuff for you to play around with. There are all sorts of different things you can add visually.
And so yeah, the goal is to have a partner dance where you've communicated visually, physically with your partner, and the communication goes both ways. So that's it. So thank you guys.